Happy New Year everyone, this is Woodsman Spirit and I hope everyone's doing fine. I'm going to do something today I don't often do because I'm not a big fan of it, but that is an unboxing of an axe. There's a lot of questions floating around on the net about axes at the moment, and good options for bushcraft, survival axes, so on and so forth. And of course over the last few years the prices of this kind of axe have really gone through the roof, and one or two big names like Wetterlings have disappeared off the map, so in some cases it seems to be quite a monopoly. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to open this package. So I obtained this from Lamnia in Finland, who have a really good range of not just knives and axes, but they also have a good range of outdoor packs and all kinds of other goodies that are of relevance to the outdoor community. So inside this box, it's everything's well protected with the usual bed of polystyrene granules. And yeah, I've heard of these particular axes for a while, and found it's quite difficult to get hold of. It's a European manufacturer, it's German. Anyway, I persevered, and of course the supply chain issues, things have been even more difficult to get, but this is a Bison axe. So that's Bison 1879, which is the year they started forging. They do a whole range of forestry axes, and I like the look of it because it's obviously, without going into too much detail, it's a quality product. Germans have a good reputation with steel forging knives, and way back to Solingen before that. And the only German axe I've ever used as a pack axe before was a Ochsenkopf, £2.5 a few years ago, but I decided to sell it because I thought the profile was too narrow for what I wanted, and yeah, I did a trade on some other axes. I can't remember which ones, but anyway, this is the Bison. And I apologise to any German viewers, but hopefully I don't get the pronunciation of this particular model wrong. This is the Oberharzer, sorry, the Oberharzer, got it wrong to start with, you see, which is a kind of liming axe, stroke pack axe. The shaft is about 24 inches long. Again, American hickory, which seems to be the benchmark for a lot of axes nowadays, and it has an extremely nice or nice looking sheath on it. Anyway, mask. Let's see if I can angle it so I can see the Bison logo on there. There you go. So you can just see the stamp of a bison or buffalo, some people like to call it, on there. That's better, I can see now. Yeah, and it's made of quite thick hide. I'll just take it off so you can see it. Yeah, it's as well made as any of the premium axe brands such as Gramforce, and probably better than the Wetterlings were, and certainly I'm going to say it's probably better than the Husqvarnas and the Hultafors sheaths. Quite sturdy, well stitched. Again, it's got the press stud on, which, yep, I know they do fail, but there's other ways and means of fixing these things up. And what I'm particularly interested in with this this particular Oberharzer model, which I think means is the unusual, by other manufacturers' standards, the unusual shape of the head. If you notice, it's angled back on the shaft, and yet the cutting edge sweeps down. That allegedly is so that it provides extra cutting power, and having used a few axes over the years, I certainly could see how this would be seen as a good idea. The head is extremely well fixed to the shaft. It's double pinned with these tubular pins. It's got a obviously wooden edge that runs back to front. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, the axe shaft protruding a bit more from the eye of the axe, because I really feel that gives it opportunity to flare out at the top. But once I get round to actually doing a physical review on this, I can make note of whether or not this is sufficient to hold it in place. I think it will be. You get a feeling. I mean, it's quite a strong and fairly thick haft on here. Say about 24 inches, I think. I love the logo on here. I think that's kind of, if you're into that kind of thing, it makes it look kind of classy. It's etched into the wood. It's not just a transfer or anything like that. They also put a neat little gizmo or a medallion, if you wish, on the that's threaded through the lanyard hole on the shaft. I don't know, you could find 1,001 uses for that. But it's a nice token anyway. There's a short leather piece of lanyard on there. With a lot of these German and Russian axes that I've come across over the years, ever pretty much a D-shaped eye in the pole. And I particularly like the fact that this is angled here, because for those of you who don't know, when you're actually chopping, if you actually start levering sideways on the handle, and if it tends to be straight across the the line of the axe head on the haft, that's a weak point. But when you put an angle on like this, it gives it significant strength. Some, like I know Gransforths and Vettelings and others, have a bit of a, what people refer to as ears here, and that also does the same job. So it's got a fairly thick pole on it. The profile is quite interesting. It's not slim like let's say for example a Gransforth's Brook small forest axe, but there again it's not too wedged, but I think it proved to be a good compromise for both chopping and to do some splitting rather. The head, I think, probably weighs, well, the head weighs, it says on here, there's a stamp on there, look, 800, so that'll be 800 grams. So I'm no mathematician, but I would say that's slightly under 2 pounds, which is for the size of the axe is bigger than most, and your cutting edge is somewhere in the region of, just by eyesight, it's got to be close on 4 inches, which would make a good limbing axe in my experience, because there's lots of cutting edge there, which reduces the chance of overstriking. It also is nicely undercut here, so you can do what people refer to as close-up work. Yeah, I think that'd be quite a pleasure to use. And the back of the haft there is flattened out, so it sits nicely in the crux of the hand, right? The grain orientation, first glance, looks pretty good. It's a nice piece of American hickory. Okay. And the end grain orientation is pretty good. Yeah, it's more than acceptable. It's almost parallel, if that's what people are concerned about. You can see I always like axes that have some sign of the forging marks on here. I don't like to see axes that are sanded off or enamelled or whatever. So this gives it that real kind of old country blacksmith you know, custom axe making kind of feel about it. Yeah, so this, as I say, this is just an unboxing review. The price point on these is pretty good. Being Lamnia, I ended up paying for it in euros, so it was about 100 and I think it was about 123 euros. And when I actually do the first test on this axe, which I'll video, I'll let you know how that worked out in my case, Canadian dollars. Yeah. Oh, one little criticism I might have of this sheath is I do wish this strap was a bit tighter, and I'll show you why. It's when you press the snap on here, it's I don't know if you can see this very well, but it does rock about a bit and come out. But you know, since I usually make my own sheaths anyway, what I'll do is I'll take this, I'll drill this rivet out and shorten it by maybe ½ an inch and put a new rivet in, and that'll be really tight and secure. Okay, well, I've been around for a while, so it's really good to be back, and I have a little video I put up of a trek with some tree identification for bushcrafters, which I should be able to download. Now I've got a new laptop because my old one's died anyway. Take care everyone, and I will speak to you again soon.